just a lot of practice.
Very easy.
You
You have to work. You have to be very balanced.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you
Yeah.
you only know the first movement at the very end.
Exactly. Playing pieces very often. And the challenge for me.
Welcome guys, now on my channel. Maybe a short introduction.
Yeah, so I'm PianoTechSupport. I have a YouTube channel, and we did a part 1 on my channel, and now I'm on the Piano Doctor's channel.
Yes.
And we will do the part 2 of those same questions.
Alright,
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him now at the very beginning. Alright. Question number 1.
Yeah.
What inspired you to play the piano?
What inspired me? Well, my mother played the piano, and I was in contact with the piano very early on.
Yes.
So I'm not sure exactly what started. You know, it was like 4 or 5.
Yes.
But I think I just liked the feeling of it, you know, and the sound. And then, yeah, I mean, I got education and training in piano very early, so it just continued from there. You know, it's a bit different, I guess, than someone who starts later, because I don't remember a specific point where I kind of first,
Yes.
you know, like for example, you said that, you know, you listened to this Appassionata, and then this really inspired you.
It's sort of pinpointed.
Yeah, but I really don't.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It sort of happened.
It just happened, and then I just
You
kept
grew up
with
with
it. Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah, it was
exactly.
like eating and drinking. Alright, question number 2. Can you name a specific moment from a piece of music that made you love the music?
Yeah, there's many great moments. One moment I really like, it's not from piano repertoire, it's from Bruckner Symphony. Yeah, Symphony number 9. I can also maybe do a short thing here.
Yes.
And also, I just really like Bruckner symphonies. I don't know why, but they make me feel like so. Also, Symphony 7, second movement. I will also give it a short insight. Although Bruckner symphonies are so long, even a short, passage.
10 minutes.
Also, I like Mahler a lot. I like Fifth Symphony. And if we're talking piano repertoire, things like, well, Rachmaninoff. I remember, like, maybe I was, I don't know, 12, 13, I listened to Rachmaninoff Concerto first time.
Yes.
Then, of course, this was really powerful, you know.
Sure.
And same for Chopin and many others. I can't really say how many.
That's okay. You've listened to many things. Okay?
Yes, exactly.
That's fine. Alright. What's the biggest challenge you're facing or have faced when learning the piano?
The biggest challenge, how did we answer that on when you were, in terms of piece?
I think for me it was rather like how to understand the rhythm, the technical
okay.
aspects, and maybe how to play the piece from the very scratch.
For me, the biggest challenge, which might be a different kind of answer, but for me the biggest challenge is, we had performing very often, for example, in uni or something like this, so weekly, and I would play the same pieces very often, of course, when I was preparing for something, concert, competition or something, very often I play the same pieces very often. And the challenge for me, which my professor then kind of unlocked for me, he kind of made me realize it, is I told him I really can't with these pieces, I play it so often, but you just need some kind of professionalism and make every single performance like 110% that you can, and even if you don't feel like it that day.
And I think this is quite difficult actually, because as you said, you play the same things all over again. And it should not get boring for you. It should always be sort of a new experience and always give it your all, like you were playing it for the very first time. And this is also how you keep it interesting for yourself. To not lose interest.
I think that's certainly the biggest thing I had to overcome.
For sure.
And realize, this kind of just professionalism you need to have with these things.
Alright, very nice. Now the 4th question. Can you share a particularly difficult piece you've worked on and tackled? I guess you have a few of them.
Well, some of them, I guess, Ravel's Gaspardo. or Hammer Clavier Sonate, or Rachmaninoff Third Concerto.
Yes.
Like Stravinsky, Petrucci. I mean, there's many. I like difficult repertoire, right?
Yes.
And how I tackled them, always in a different way because they're so different. These pieces, you can't compare them.
No.
But always with just a lot of practice.
Very easy. Yeah. Straight to the point.
Yeah, but like a lot more than other pieces.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like 100% more.
Yes.
So double than the normal amount. And I mean, with a ton of help of external inputs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because some people, this is also a misconception. Some people think I can just practice and eventually it will work.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like if I practice Gaspar Noé every day 5 hours, then it must work after a year.
Yeah.
No, it won't.
No, I know.
And it's like there's so many other things to it, yeah, to all kinds of aspects,
yes.
you know.
Yes.
Some of them are kind of just musical understanding and maturity, you know.
Yes.
Some of them are more manageable, like if your fingers work.
Yeah.
But some things you also, I don't know, you need to have the right mindset for it almost, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think not all of those you can solve with just practice.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a bit nuanced, you know.
Yeah, it's really balanced.
Mhm.
Last question. What does your practice routine look like, and how do you keep motivated?
Yeah, so my practice routine, for example, right now, it's very kind of busy because I'm doing a lot of repertoire, you know.
Yeah.
So I've prepared some repertoire for recordings and competitions and that.
Yes.
And then I'm doing something else also, which is doing the list etudes, 12 list etudes, you know. So there's so much of it that my routine just looks like I have a list of pieces that I want to get done today, and I just do those, you know. And I don't really focus just on one piece.
Yes.
Yeah, I just try to get like bulk, you know, and practice it. Yeah.
And it takes a while.
Yeah, it takes such a long time. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's also one thing that I noticed with, for example, Rachmaninoff Third Concerto, is that since it's such a long piece, I mean, I've played longer, but it's so many notes in that piece.
Yeah.
You have to practice so much that if you're working on this part of the piece, then that part of the piece doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, for sure, yes.
And then you go to work.
It has to be very balanced.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you only know the third movement at the very end.
Exactly.
The first
and then you go to that part of the piece, and then the one that worked before doesn't work. And it's the same.
It's tricky. Because, of course, problems like this, you don't face them as a beginner because maybe your piece has 5 or 6 pages, right? But this is somehow it's relatable because if you only work on the, let's say, last page very hard, then you sort of don't practice the first 2 pages, and if you come back to it, same problem.
Yeah, it's the same, yeah.
Not with R3.
No, but it's the same concept.
But it's the same concept, for sure, yes.
Great.
And how do you keep motivated?
How do you keep motivated? Well, just with goals, you know.
With goals.
I just want to do this,
yes.
and that's my motivation to do it.
Alright,
yeah.
Very easy, very straightforward.
Great, yeah.
Thank you.
Now I ask you the other questions. Yeah. So, who are your favorite composers and pianists?
Yes, for the composers, for me I wouldn't say it's quite easy, but for me it was always Beethoven because he really made me fall in love with piano music really a lot, and I listened to so many sonatas, I really loved them a lot. So this is probably number 1. I also listened to other composers for sure, Chopin, Brahms, Mozart, Bach, right, quite a lot. But if I had to pinpoint one, it has to be Beethoven. And then on the second place, I cannot pinpoint anyone. It's a lot. It's a lot that I like, and it's very, very mixed actually. Yes.
And pianist?
Pianist, when I was starting out, right, 1.5 years ago, I was a huge fan of Danny Barenboim because he was playing a lot of Beethoven, right? And if you type in, let's say, Pathetique Sonata, it's
the first
Barenboim, right?
Yeah.
And maybe even with Appassionata, it's lots of Barenboim all the time. And he was probably the guy I ran into the first time, right? And then I was sort of picking up on other pianists, right? The very famous one, Horowitz, Argerich, all of them, Polini, whatever, and Kissin. You really brought Kissin into my world, actually. Yes. And you said he knows what he's doing, right? Yes. And nobody was Barenboim, and now I really because I shifted a lot to actually Igor Levit, because I started to, he has also lots of Beethoven, right? And I was like, maybe I listen to some other Beethoven recording, not only Barenboim, and I really liked his playing as well. And I think he, of course, I'm German, right? So it's a little bit closer for me because of the language. He also has some podcasts in the Beethoven Sonata.
And he also talks about like political
Yes, he's very into political things as well, and lots of things are only purely in German, right?
Yeah.
This is very close to me, and the podcast he did, it's everything's in German, sadly, so you cannot sort of listen.
I've seen a podcast.
Yes, I think it's very interesting, especially as someone who has no idea maybe something about the field. It's very nicely made, and it really. I spend a lot of time listening to this podcast, so maybe he's also one guy.
Put a link in the description.
Yes, put a link in the description. Yes.
Great, yeah. Okay, next up is how do you approach interpreting a new piece?
I think as a beginner, the main challenge is at the very beginning is learning the notes, right? So this consumes a lot of time. And the interpreting stuff just happens, in my opinion, quite late. Because I first have to learn all the notes. I have technical challenges maybe that I cannot overcome at the very beginning. I'm so busy sometimes with just, as we, of course, we've been talking about this a lot, because you say maybe you can play this like this and then piano and then whatever, right? But then it's so difficult for me just to get the notes right? That I have to want to get the notes as right as I can. And then sometimes I sort of forget probably about the interpreting part, but I try to pick up on it at the...
But it's interesting because even if people play the same notes and they only learn the notes and play them, you have your own style.
Yes,
even if you think about it or not. Yeah.
It's true. You still play certain stuff in the piece, not with forte or whatever, right? You play it the way like you want it to sound.
And also like the way you play, you have your own kind of style.
Yeah, for sure.
Like your pedaling or how you articulate and this kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I try just to go with the flow, I guess. I don't have, not yet, maybe in a few years I have a very specific way of interpreting things, but right now, yes, this is the way.
Everyone's kind of individual, even if they want to or not.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, great. What piece of advice would you give someone who's starting out?
This is very interesting because I was actually greetings now to the friend who's going to watch that video for sure. I was motivating her to start to play the piano, right? And I told her at the very beginning, I think it's very important just to have lots of fun. Really, just don't try to be stuck on this. Is I think very difficult at the beginning on music theory. I think it's important, yes, but at the very beginning it's I think too overwhelming. Try to sit down, try to play the pieces you really like and really enjoy, and then just go with the flow. Try to practice every day, as much as you can, but just to the point that you still enjoy it, right? Don't get over satisfied with it, because then you probably will give up playing, right? When you just force yourself, it's not going to work out. So play as much as you like to play, and then get a teacher for sure. I told you, get a teacher at the very beginning, so this will improve your skills quite dramatically, I guess. It's very important. And just play what you really want to play. This is very important. The pieces I played, and usually, of course, sometimes you give me some input what I could play, but usually I come to you and I'm like, I want to play this piece, right? Because I just picked it up somewhere on YouTube or whatever.
And you never had like some ridiculous kind of...
No. And I always ask you, does it make sense? Do you think it's approachable or not?
Exactly. Yes. That's the good thing, because some people come to me, with next to zero experience and ask me to teach them very difficult pieces.
Yes.
And it's like, how can I teach this if there is no kind of foundation?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
True. Yes.
That's good, yeah?
Yes.
And two more questions. First, how do you continue to learn and grow as a musician?
It's a very interesting question, because I think when you start to pick up the piano, you don't see yourself as a musician, right? You just see yourself like as a beginner in some way. You're just picking up an instrument. You see yourself like as a pianist, right? You just see yourself like, I'm just starting with this instrument and getting to know that instrument. But just to grow and to improve, I think it's just to stay motivated, to keep practicing, and pick pieces you love, practice them. And what helps me a lot is actually, because I only have an electric piano at home, and then when I have, let's say, like a grand piano, like in this case, I'm really looking forward to the days where I know I can play on a real piano, actually, because it's a great difference. Because because I told me I have my electric piano, I'm very happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very nice for me that I know, okay, this day I will have the grand piano. On the concert I played at a few weeks ago, I was allowed to play the Steinway D. It's a huge deal for me. I was like, wow, I can play on this.
One of the finest pianos.
Yes, it was like a great deal to me. So this is also what keeps me motivated, just to know, oh, maybe this day I can play on this instrument.
It's like driving a Ferrari.
Exactly. When you're always stuck in like, I don't know, a car which doesn't work, and then you're like, wow, now I can drive this car, right? This keeps you motivated for sure.
Of course, yes. Okay, and what are your goals with Piano Fan Evolution?
Yes, I have lots of goals, and I really want to do this throughout my whole life. That was the plan. I have a few pieces I really would love to play at one point. Like maybe mentioned before, Appassionata. There's so many pieces I would really love to play one day. I know it's far away, but the journey is, how do you say it? The goal is the journey.
Right. Yeah.
The goal is the journey.
And also, you know, there's so much time left to practice and to perfect things that I think there is no need to rush things.
No, for sure.
But to have a clear journey where you want to go is, I think, is essential.
100%. There are also piano controls. I don't know how that works. Actually, I've always been wondering, but I think you can get a music box and just have the orchestra part and so and play the piano part or something. I think this would be very nice.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be great actually. Maybe to be in your own living room and just sort of play a piano. It would be great.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know. Maybe one day.
In my experience, you have to put the TV really loud to be able to hear it.
Yeah, okay. That's totally a struggle, I guess.
It is like a big speaker, you know.
Then I have to find a real orchestra.
Yeah. And they also do no rubato because it's pre-recorded.
That's true, yes.
And then like not even rubato, they don't change the tempo.
Okay, that's actually going to be very difficult then.
No problem. I'll play the orchestra.
Perfect. Yes, it's going to be.
Alright, excellent. Yeah. Those are the questions. Yeah.
That's everything, I guess.
Yeah, that's everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Great, hope you enjoyed this video.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed as well. And see you in the next one.
And subscribe to his channel.
Yes. Bye bye.
See you.